My name is Kurecoin. I'm a public speaker, a venture capitalist, a business mentor and coach. Currently the CEO of KURE Holdings, which is a portfolio company that is diversified, ranging from several sectors like the oil and gas. We're also into the private equity markets. We also have some stake in manufacturing, in agriculture, and you could name it. And then also recently into the blockchain technology. Now people are asking me, well, what's your interest in blockchain? I mean, why do you want to go into blockchain? For me, the reason it's not necessarily because of the hype. Of course, that has a role to play. I mean, it's an emerging industry, so much opportunity, so much risk as well. And for me, really, the best way to handle any new concept is from the point of definition. First of all, the whole idea that the blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, and then Bitcoin is a way to get rid of the government of the day and then do financial transaction without the government doesn't make sense to me. I mean, one of the reasons why it wasn't, it didn't have to catch my attention at first, because I mean, you can be in their land and then you want to take them out of the financial transaction. I mean, it's like what I'll call a daydreaming, But then that of course made some people not to want to go into it. That of course made governments want to ban it, and several things had to come up alongside. But then if you look at this critically, blockchain technology is most important for financial transactions. As a matter of fact, I'm a Nigerian. The Central Bank of Nigeria needs blockchain technology more than any other sector you can ever think of. NNPC needs blockchain technology. Pension fund requires blockchain technology. All of these sectors, the government needs blockchain technology more than any individual, more than any citizen out there. So this technology actually an evolution, a solution for the government of the day. So want to think that it's a way to get rid of the government, then it makes it making looking like it doesn't have a future. Coming into cryptocurrency, I like to call it crypted currency because it's crypted. All right. Now, for example, you want to do a simple security transaction, which means you want to sell a security or a stock from one party to the other party. What would you have to do? Maybe I want to sell a security, for example. I don't know the next person who wants to buy my security, but which means that if I have to go to a security house, we need an intermediary. We need a third party, which means I need an agent in the form of a stockbroker who's going to represent my interest. I want to sell a particular security, and then you come from the other side, and guess what? He handles the transaction. There's what we call the legal contract. All of those processes have to go through, and then there's what we call the central security depository, and then where all of these securities are analyzed, and then it comes out of there. He goes to another level, which means, for example, if you want to sell a security, by the time you're done with the transaction, it takes about 2-3 days before you're credited. There are lots of multi-level entities who are participating in just that single transaction, which makes financial processes very expensive. I mean, so the blockchain technology is actually a solution to these tough processes. And that's why, as at this time, Bank of America has filed in the highest level of patents more than any company in the world. That's because financial processes have become so cumbersome and expensive. Now, most times people complain about the fees, the banks charges too much and all that. Well, the fees are actually minute compared to the processes involved. And that's why you see the fees as minute as 0.011% and all of those. But then, if you know what those processes and those multi entities who are participating, what it takes, it's really so expensive. So blockchain technology is actually a solution for financial services. Nobody needs it more than the financial industry, I can tell you. Then of course that doesn't mean every other industry doesn't need it. Talking about the land, land. I have, as a venture capitalist, what really triggered our interest into blockchain is having received a lot of youngsters coming with some solutions solutions with blockchain technology for agriculture, blockchain technology for lands, blockchain technology for several things. And I'm thinking, there's so much solution in this industry. So what do we do? How do we come in? Man, if we want to invest into a sector, the first thing we're thinking about, well, if we have to put our money in that sector, which means we have to find a control. So what do? The only way to adopt these new portfolios into our holding is to, first of all, find a way to have control. And that's why we came in. And then the only way is not just to be a player in the market, but to be a parent to the industry. And that's why the step KURE Holding is taking into the blockchain arena is actually a parenting strategy. And I'm going to explain that critically for you. Because if you look at what has happened in the last 2-3 years, so many persons have taken advantage of it. Any new technology comes out, a new solution comes out, they sell an ICO, and then securities, or what you call currencies, or what you call assets, are in people's hands. So the asset is there. And that's what I was explaining the other time about Bitcoin.